Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? This is Darren. This is your self coach. Just wanted to reach out to you. Hopefully, you're having the start of a good week. I know we're getting real close to October 1, so I know how it can be in the school building. So, hopefully, that you are taking your time. You're not in a stressful place. But I just wanted to introduce to you the implementation activity that is going to come out of our fall intensive. For those of you that are going to be attending either October 4th or 5th, or either the 19th or the 20th. This is going to be the implementation activity for this particular session on implementing authentic accommodations and modifications. So at the very top, it's asking you to identify a student that's on your caseload. So I'm going to ask that you prepare for this session that's going to be coming up for some of you in a few weeks. At least one to two students on your caseloads. You can bring IEP at a glances, or you can bring a copy of the IEP if that information is available, so that you're able to answer the questions and do the activity. So this first part, under number one, part A, is asking you to describe the student's disability and the barriers that does interfere with the student's ability to demonstrate learning. So you'll place that information here. Then you'll list at least three of the student's strengths that can be found in various places, can be found in the evaluation, can be found from your PLAF statements that you've already prepared, or it can come from the documents that you currently have. The next area is going to be what the student in particular is having difficulty with. So you place that information here. So this is basically your information that you'll get from your documents. Now, the second part of the activity is you're going to use these two example accommodation sheets to identify areas where the student has difficulty. So, for example, here, there's a link for responsive accommodations. We'll go over this in the professional development, but just showing this information to you. So this first link has a list of all the different response accommodations. And then you have the presentation accommodations. You have a link here. And then you're going to use these two documents to do this next part. It says, after identifying the difficulty, use the supporting resources to identify accommodations that you want to implement with the students. So we're going to provide a copy of this to you, but the link is also here. This is going to look real familiar to you. But these are the pages towards the end of the IEP for the accommodations that you are used to seeing printed out through SIR. Once you've identified some difficulty areas and then use the documents to identify some areas to implement, you're going to do the use those things, these two resources, to complete this activity. So here's an example. It says there's two parts: response accommodations worksheet. What do your student have a difficulty with? If they're having if they're having difficulty with spelling, you'll circle or highlight yes or no, and then you're going to list at least two accommodations from those documents that you can use for that student that's having this difficulty. And you're going to go down the list for response accommodations, and you're going to do the same thing for presentation type accommodations. For example, if your student is your student having difficulty with decoding text, yes or no, and then you're going to list two accommodations that'll meet that student's need. Following those two worksheets, you have some reflection questions that you'll answer. You answer 5 of those here. All right, here's the rubric on how we're going to score it, so you'll know what's expected of you for each part. So you have the student description, which is the part at the top of those questions, and then you have the identify accommodations part of the activity, which is with the response and the presentation activity. So this spells out how we're going to score it based on the rubric. Okay, we're going to go through this as well on your day for professional development, but I just wanted to give you a explanation of what's going to be expected at that particular time. All right. As always, reach out if you have any type of questions, if you need any type of support. I'm going to ask that you reach out to either myself or Kara, and we'll be more than happy to assist you, even if it's not on this particular topic. If there's anything within your school building that you may want to get support with outside of your SPED director or your SPED leader, please reach out to either one of us. All right. Hopefully that this walkthrough of the implementation activity did make sense. Reach out if you have any questions, but looking forward to seeing you for fall intensive within the next couple of weeks. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your week.